My name is Mia. I'm 35 years old office worker. My boyfriend, Oliver, who had been working in London, just moved back. Although our 10-year relationship had some rocky patches, we always managed to overcome our problems. My dream of getting married in my 20s didn't come true, but it didn't matter as long as he was with me after all. I was content. We should tell our parents about our engagement sooner than later. Who should we go and see first? He asked while we were hanging out, and I paused for a bit. Yeah, well... He looked at me suspiciously when I trailed off. Oh no, you're changing your mind? I finally came back for good. Oh no, that's not it. I'm really happy that you're back, but... The reason I added "but" at the end of my sentences was that his mom popped up in my mind. If I married Oliver, that woman was also going to be a part of our life. It cast a shadow over our marriage life. I met her about 10 years ago when I was still 25 years old. Oliver and I were already together and bumped into her on the street after work. Oliver, what are you up to? Oh, are you on a date? I'm his mother, Angela. Nice meeting you. She was 47 at that time. I was astonished by her appearance. She looked much younger and was beautiful. Nice meeting you too. I'm Mia. I scurried to give her a kiss on the cheek. She looked me up and down as she was assessing my appearance. I was not wrong to be paranoid. We decided to grab a drink, and as soon as Oliver went to the bathroom, Angela started saying, I could sense Oliver was seeing someone and was hoping you would be prettier. I had no idea he was into an ordinary girl, she said with a spiteful smirk. Not only the face, but the body too. Plump, if I say nicely. Or Oops, what am I saying? Sorry. She didn't look sorry. I was indeed chubby, but how rude was she to remark on my body? I was about to retort when Oliver came back. Oh, you're back. I was having a nice chat with Mia. We hit it off, right? As soon as he came back, Angela smiled and pretended to be a good mom. Whoa, what a change. I was amazed. After we separated, I asked Oliver, Hey, what's your mother like? She's so beautiful. Yeah, she used to have a reputation for it in her town and won the local beauty pageant. So, it seems she's still into taking good care of herself. She isn't so bad for her age, is she? Indeed, she did not look bad. She looked at least 15 years younger than her age, but her personality was a disaster. I couldn't say that to Oliver, who seemed to be proud of her. If I married him, she would be my mother-in-law. I already felt uneasy back then. 10 years passed. Oliver was sent to work abroad soon after the incident. He left for London, and our engagement plan was put on hold. I didn't see Angela for a long time, and now... Hey, are you feeling uneasy about our marriage? Oliver asked me as I was lost in my thoughts. I get it. Your dad must be concerned about you getting married to me. Oops, my bad. I got caught up in the bad memories of the past. I had given him the wrong idea. It's nothing. I'm just feeling pre-marriage blues. I'm determined to marry you, don't worry. I tried to be cheerful for him. Whoever was to be my mother-in-law, it wasn't like I was marrying her. Besides, it had been 10 years. She must have changed, I tried to tell myself. However, it was just my wishful thinking. I was on the way to Oliver's house with him the following weekend. It wasn't for the engagement announcement, but we were just retrieving something he forgot. He left tickets for the movie we were going to watch. Thanks to him, we didn't have enough time to grab lunch beforehand, but we could have hot dogs and popcorn, I was thinking. Oh, we'll probably make it on time. Wait here, I'll be right back. He slammed the front door and rushed inside as soon as we got into his house. Why such a noise, Oliver? You're back already? Oh, you. When Angela heard the commotions, she popped her face out of the porch. Good afternoon. I tried to smile. She then burst out laughing. Oh my God! It's you from 10 years ago! That plump piglet! Was she talking about me? Whoa, you guys haven't broken up. Oliver's got a weird taste. I never imagined that he was still dating the same girl. Why doesn't he find a younger one? I was stunned when she commented with a sly smile. Excuse me? Don't you agree? He's an elite back from London. I'm sure there's a lot of girls eyeing him. You seem to have lost a little weight, but you aged. You were in your 20s 10 years ago, so in your 30s now? Oh no, you're almost grandma. If I aged 10 years, she did too. However, she looked the same as 10 years ago. I thought she must have been a witch. It's Mia, right? If you have common sense, you should back off. You need to really assess if you're up to his standard. Get it? At that point, Oliver ran out to the porch. Sorry for the wait. I couldn't find the tickets. Let's go. What are you doing, Mom? Angela replied nonchalantly. Nothing. You better hurry. The movie is starting soon. Right? Come on, Mio. Let's go. He grabbed my arm and put me out of the porch. I couldn't retort to Angela and couldn't tell Oliver. If he found out what she had just said to me, how was he going to react? I didn't want to accept him, but I knew I couldn't go on like this. If she was around, I wouldn't have been happy in my marriage. I had no idea what to do. After a while, Oliver and I announced our engagement to my parents. They were totally happy for us. My dad had an idea to have me married off to a man of his choice, but he respected my decision and asked us for a favor. He said it was up to us to decide. Good. We're done with your parents. It's my parents next weekend. Oliver stretched out his arm as his tension was eased. Immediately after we were out of the house. Yep. Angela was going to be there. She was finally going to find out about our status. I worried. Oliver noticed my demeanor and said, Don't worry, I'll be with you. His words gave me a bit of peace of mind. The day finally came. I was nervous. What's wrong, Mia? Are you nervous? Oliver laughed at me as I kept taking big breaths. I get it. I was so tense when I went to yours. And to tell your father, don't worry about my parents. They are both laid back. You've already met my mom anyway. That was why I was nervous. I screamed in my head. Oh, welcome. You're Mia. I'm Ken. Oliver's father. Ken gave me a warm welcome at the porch. Hi, welcome. Angela popped her face out from behind him. I freaked out when I saw her. She had tons of makeup on. It was as if she was going to a party. Glitter eyeshadow was glistening around her eyes. Her clothes weren't for a party, but she still looked like she was going to some event. I knew it wasn't for this occasion, but to show off her beauty. I discreetly checked myself. My dress was fine. My stockings were running. My accessories were modest. My dress was dry cleaned and had not a wrinkle. My hair was blow-dried. I cleaned my makeup in the car and reapplied a lip gloss. Just when Angela was passing by me, she whispered, "You have lip gloss on your teeth." I hastily covered my mouth, but when I checked while no one was paying attention, there was nothing on my teeth. Angela just wanted to see me flustered. When I put my mirror back, I stared at my phone in the bag. My fate was to be decided on that day. Ken and Angela returned to the living room. "Dad, Mom, we're planning to get married." "Mom, you've already met Mia before." Oliver spoke up and I smiled next to him. "I'm excited to be a part of your family." Ken smiled back and said, "Indeed, it's exciting news. If you guys have decided, we have nothing to argue about. Oliver sometimes acts immature, but he's a good kid. Take good care of him. Congratulations, right, Angela?" Angela hastily put on a smile as Ken suddenly turned to her. "Oh, of course! Congratulations!" After that, we had a pleasant chat over our drinks. I was relieved. I was afraid that Angela was going to put out a fight, but it looked like everything was going smoothly. "Oh no, it's late," Angela mentioned, looking at the clock on the wall. "I'm sorry, I had no time to prepare dinner today. Shall we have pizza? Oliver, can you guys go and get takeaways?" "Why should we go out when we can just call?" He was right. "Because the usual pizza place takes time to deliver. It's faster to just go there. Besides, I want you guys to get more beer and wine and some snacks too." She forced them out of the sofa. "Come on, hurry up. Go get pizza." They were forced out of the house by Angela's insistence. The reason why she made the two of them go out because a parent right after. As soon as they were out of the door, her true color came out. "Oh no, it finally came to this point. You are such a brazen woman, aren't you?" Angela sat back with crossed legs on the sofa. "I've been telling you that you don't deserve Oliver. You don't even have the decency to back out on your own. You know what? He can get a more beautiful and younger woman. But before he realizes it, you lock him in, like you refuse to let go of the prey. Now you come here to be congratulated on your engagement?" I asked, "Well, what about me that you dislike?" "Everything! All of you! You're not a beauty, yet you're about to steal my son from me. I'm disgusted by the idea," I countered. "But he loves me. Of course, I don't think I'm so beautiful myself," Angela scoffed. "But you know, if you guys have a baby, it's my grandchild. I won't accept a grandchild who isn't even pretty. I had gone to all the trouble of getting seeds from a good-looking guy so that I could have a beautiful child, but if his wife is ugly, it would dilute the DNA." Angela came so close to me that I could see every pore on her face. I'm telling you, if you marry Oliver, I would never accept you as my family. I will do whatever it takes to destroy your marriage. And I'll find him a young girl who is as beautiful as me. Well, I assumed it'd be quite hard though. I clenched my back tightly. So, you'll be satisfied if I left right now? Exactly! Get out and be gone for good. Understand? I replied. I will do as you wish. That's great. As you know, there's no point in tattling to Oliver and Ken. I have always been a faithful wife and a kind mother to them. Nobody's gonna believe you. Angela stood up and looked down at me as she said, Don't ever show your hideous face. My eyes hurt. Just then, we heard the door open. We're back! All of a sudden, Angela burst into tears. What? Wait! I was in a panic. When the two men came into the room, she appealed to them. Oh, God! While you guys were gone, Mia was degrading me. I can't get along with someone like her. What? I was flabbergasted. When have I ever degraded her? She said when we're elderly, she won't look after us at all. She'd rather see us leave this world as soon as possible. Can you believe it? And that she would belittle us if we ever get dementia. God, I can't say anymore. I'm scared of her. Angela clung to Ken. My God, Mia! He scowled. You seem to be nice, but you're such a loathsome person. No, Ken, I've never said those things. I'm the one who was degraded. When I tried to refute, Angela cried out, Liar! If you say I'm the culprit, show us the proof. Right. I don't believe Angela to make up those things. Ken was totally on her side. Oliver was about to say something, but I stopped him. If you want proof, there's no proof of me degrading Angela, right? Well, you're right. My calm demeanor seemed to have subdued him. Without any evidence, it's an endless argument. But I have proof. What? Shocked, Angela stopped acting like a victim and shouted. She never thought in her wildest dream that I would have proof. I've been recording on my phone since I got here. From what she had said to me many times in the past, I thought it may happen again. I'm glad I took precautions. What many times? Oliver was taken aback. My proof spoke for herself. I took out my phone from my bag and started the playback. You are such a brazen woman. You old hag. I won't accept you as my family. Be gone and never show your hideous face ever again. Angela's rant echoed through the living room. Stop it! She tried to jump on me, but Oliver grabbed her. Mom, stop! Oliver, this is fake! She is trying to fool us all! Mom, it's enough. His eyes were watering. Having to find out that his mother was such a horrible person was too much for him. I felt sorry for him, but that didn't mean that I was backing off. Ever since I met Angela 10 years ago, I've been subjected to her Bible abuse. She is proud of her good look, and I was just ordinary. But no matter how beautiful she looks, her heart is awful. I don't want to have a mother-in-law like her. I won't marry Oliver, and as she wishes, I won't show myself ever again. Hold on, Mia. I apologize about my wife. Let's have a talk again. Ken grabbed my arms. Oliver said, Never mind. It's not just her. I don't want to call her mother anymore. What about you, Dad? You wouldn't want to stay with such a woman, won't you? Oh, I will take up Mia's last name as her dad wishes. What? Angela squealed. Her dad is the founder and CEO of the company I work for. She is not only my colleague, but an honorable daughter of my boss. When we went to her house the other day, he asked me to use his surname in order to keep his family name for the future. I've been contemplating, but I decided just now I would change my surname and will leave as theirs. Wait, Oliver, what about us? Do you really think I want to stay as your son? Tears were coming out of his eyes. Ken hugged him tightly. I have nothing to say. I'm sorry that you had to make such a big life decision out of it all. I will speak your mom and will make sure she wouldn't meddle. I interrupted. I'm grateful, but there's something else. Yes? Ken looked at me perplexed. Apparently, he heard only the parts of the recording. Oliver heard it and was in great shock. It was terrible to make him listen again, but Ken needed to know the truth. I hardened my heart and said, I suppose you will be quite busy from now on. Maybe you would want to do a DNA test and other stuff. Then I pressed start on my phone again. No, stop! Stop! Don't listen! Angela knew which part I was going to play and tried to stop me, but it was too late. I had gone to all the trouble of getting seeds from a good-looking guy so that I could have a beautiful child, but if his wife is ugly, it would dilute the DNA. As soon as he heard this, his nostrils flared up. Oh, you. I don't even want to remember what happened from then on. Ken grabbed Angela, and Oliver and I tried our best to separate them. Angela was wailing. It was such a commotion that the neighbor reported, and the police came to check. A few months later, Oliver and I got married. He legally changed his surname, and at the same time cut all ties with Angela. However, he was still in touch with Ken. A DNA test showed that Ken wasn't his real dad, but it didn't matter to them since they'd been father and son for more than 30 years. If we have a baby in the future, we sure will introduce him to his grandchild. He and Angela are divorced. She had moved back with her parents, but even they couldn't stand her and kicked her out. We don't know what become of her now. Well, it's her, so wherever she goes, she must be disliked for speaking ill of others. While she was living in a good life, she was able to take care of her beauty. I'm afraid that she's going to turn into a real wicked witch from the West. From the hard life she is expected to live from now on.
In short, we don't want an ugly woman in an upper-class family.
How can you believe an unattractive woman like you could be with a man like Mark? His parents kept insulting me, and I felt tremendous anger inside. I understand. I will leave for now. But you have made such insults on my family and me. Please never get involved with us. It will be a waste even you begged us in tears. My name is Dana. I'm a 25-year-old office worker. My family used to be very poor. We used to eat stale bread every day to hold off hunger. We are a family of 4. My father, mother, my sister, and me. My father's salary was mostly spent on rent. My mother was sickly and could not go out to work. When my sister and I were young, we were always hungry. My life changed when I learned about finance in middle school. I think it was an extracurricular course. I learned that your level of education determines your income, and the higher your education, the more money you made. When I heard that, I decided to study hard and earn a lot of money to take good care of my family. I found my path with a simple thought process. From then on, I spent every waking moment studying.
If you study so hard, you will get a fever and die,
my father used to say. If I can't make a lot of money, I'd rather die. I brushed it off with a sassy remark, unlike a typical preteen. I studied hard and got good grades in school. Every time I got a perfect score on a test, my mom was very delighted and praised me. It made me happy to see her proud of me that I studied even harder. I got into high school on a scholarship for my excellent grades and continued to study hard so that I was able to graduate university without paying tuition. My education was very useful for job hunting. I was able to get a job at a major elite company. It's not the right way to describe, but the work was like a new game for someone like me who just studied all her life. The difference from studying was that effort did not always lead to good results. If I just worked blindly, I couldn't get any result at all. I thought this was very interesting. I searched for ways to apply my strengths to my work every day. I don't think not many fresh out of college colleagues thought like me. I have what you might call a unique value or personality. I thought it was thanks to my family's support that I could affirm my uniqueness.
You are really hardworking, Dana, and good at finding something you enjoy. I'm proud of you. I even want you to teach me from compulsory education.
My dad complimented me. He was always unreliable, but no matter how poor we were, he was always smiling. Naturally, we became optimistic seeing such an attitude of his. I started studying hard because I wanted to be rich. But from some point, I was doing my best simply because I enjoyed it. Not because I was desperate to save my family or anything like that. It was like a kid who wanted to become a baseball player and practice hard. My mom, too, never complained about money, and she was good at making anything by herself. She was an excellent seamstress from learning at fashion school. Clothes, backpacks, and pouches of my sister and mine were all her handmade. What's more, they were also cute and fashionable. The kids at school used to ask us where we got them. My sister became interested in fashion, just like mom, and enrolled in fashion school. Although there were many episodes of poverty, we were content and enjoyed our life.
What? That's for real?
Yes, for real. Once, my sister and I brought home some leftovers from school lunch and gave them to our parents.
Ha ha ha, that's amazing.
My colleague laughed when he heard my story. My episodes of poverty were taken as fascinating life stories by others. I found myself in the position of an interesting person in the company. Well, I might have been the type of person to be teased and played dumb in school. I was sure my dad's easygoing nature must have been embedded in my DNA. I was happy to have a good relationship with my colleagues as well as enjoy work. It was like I had a different kind of joy than when I was studying. My life was exciting every day, and then I had a fateful encounter. It was at the company's welcome party for new employees. I decided to grab a drink with my colleagues after the party. One of them said, "I know some others from different departments, so I will invite them." New recruits from other departments joined us. That was when I met Mark. He looked nice and handsome, but not a womanizer type. I fell in love with him at first sight. Everyone began to mingle as the night progressed. While Mark went to the restroom, my colleague moved to the empty seat from my side. When he came back, he saw his spot was taken and naturally took the empty seat next to me. Oblivious to my pounding heart, he started a conversation.
"You're Dana. I heard you're exceptional. If I'm not wrong, you went both high school and university on scholarship."
Yes, I'm very grateful for the free tuition."
Haha, is that the only reason?
"Sure, my family didn't have a lot of money."
I see. So you studied hard to support your family?
"No, I enjoyed it. Even though we were poor, we were happy."
I see. You have a unique charm.
"What?" I was surprised by his remark, but he said it with a serious face. I didn't know what he meant by it, and it made me laugh. From then on, whenever I ran into him at work, I stopped and chatted lightly. He must have had become quite interested in me, so one day he asked me out to dinner. He seemed more relaxed than usual when it was just the two of us. He was gentlemanly but friendly, and I felt like we were getting closer. He invited me to dinner several times after. One day he confessed his feeling for me. I didn't expect him to fall in love. I was more ecstatic than surprised, so I accepted him. Our relationship started. He treated me very well and came up with various date plans. I felt safe and fuzzy when I was with him. I wanted to be with him forever. I found that he felt the same way when he proposed me 3 years later. I felt joy from the bottom of my heart and immediately said yes to him. Thus, we became engaged. We wanted to announce to both of our parents in no time. Mark said,
"First of all, I'm going to marry a precious daughter, so let's meet your family."
We decided to tell my parents first. My family liked Mark immediately. Mark too said,
"Your parents are like peas in a pod."
And then it was time for me to meet his parents. As a bride-to-be, the first impression was very important. I was very nervous as I chose my clothes and went to get my hair done. I put more time into makeup too. After my mom and sister checked my look in detail, I left the house in immaculate style. And then I went to the house of Mark's parents with him. It was a mansion that stood out from the other houses. After we started dating, I found out that his dad was CEO and the family was affluent. In other words, he is the only son of a distinguished family. I guess that's why he seemed so noble from the moment I met him. When he pressed the intercom, his mother answered and opened the front door. "Mark, welcome back."
"Hi, Mom."
"Is she your fiancé?" "It's great to finally meet you. I'm Dana." "Oh, come inside." She looked me up and down as she invited us in. I didn't expect her to like me from the start, but I had to put an effort. His mother led us into the huge and luxurious living room where his father was already waiting on the sofa.
"Well, I'm glad you're here. Please have a seat."
His father politely said, but there was a certain tension in the air. It was like if he was interviewing me for a job position.
I'm Mark's father, and I run a company called 5X.
His company has always been on the rise and successful. His parents bragged about their status.
Dana, you work for the same company as Mark, don't you? That means you must be exceptional. She is the most promising employee in the company. She was an honor student in both high school and college. I see.
I was a little embarrassed to be praised by Mark. Maybe his mother was jealous and made a surprising remark. Well, it doesn't matter how good your education is, but your face. You're a little too ugly. What? He and I were both utterly dumbfounded to hear such a remark.
What are you talking about, Mom?
Mark was furious, but his mother didn't care and continued. I'm just telling you the truth. You're going to follow in your father's footsteps and become CEO in the future. So the woman next to you must look beautiful. His mother's statement made him even angrier.
What in the world? It's nonsense. I love her for who she is, regardless of her looks. She's not a bad-looking woman to begin with. Apologize to her.
Mark was boiling and demanded an apology. His father's pride was hurt, and he got equally angry.
How dare you speak to your parents like that? Can't you understand that your mother is concerned for your own good? We are just saying, we don't want an attractive woman in an upper-class family. We won't allow this marriage. Get out of here.
His father gestured me to get out with a wave of his hand.
What is wrong with you, Dad? I don't need your permission. I will marry her on my own. Hold on. We won't allow you to do such atrocity.
Right. You're just being fooled by her. She may not have a pretty face, but she's smart. She's brainwashing you like a con artist. That must be it.
You talk to him as well. Just tell him you're not good enough for this house.
How can you believe an unattractive woman like you could be with a man like Mark? I'd love to see the face of your parents who raised you to be such deceiving.
They must be good for nothing.
His parents kept insulting, and I felt tremendous anger inside. I understand. I will leave for now. But you have made such insults on my family and me. Please never get involved with us. It will be a waste even you begged us in tears. To which they laughed out loud.
Who's going to beg who?
Are you really smart? I think you're just crazy. I ignored their disrespect and said, sorry to have bothered you, and left their house. Mark tagged behind me and apologized.
I'm really sorry about my parents.
Never mind. You were trying to save me.
But they were so rude to you. I'm really disappointed in them. Lately, my dad acts like a tyrant at work. He doesn't seem to maintain a good relationship with his employees. I think he's getting too arrogant. Well, my mom is always being like that, so I don't think she will ever change.
I see. I was grateful that he grew up to be a good man in such a family.
Oh, by the way, that thing you said about never getting involved with your family?
Yeah, you got it? I was really angry to tell you the truth. That's why I blurted out such a thing. But if you don't want me to, I won't.
Go ahead. They deserve it. You gotta give them a good beating.
I got his permission, so I went right ahead with my plan. I'm in a CEO's office at some company right now. Dad, you think he's gonna call you soon?
I hope so. Oh, here it is. Yes, hello?
My dad put the call on speaker.
Hello? What happened? You suddenly want to cancel the contract? It's a shame, but I got a good reason to do so. What is it? You insulted my daughter and my family, didn't you? You're the father of Mark, right? Huh? I heard you treated my daughter well when she visited you. Oh my god, you mean Dana is your daughter? Yes, my sweet precious daughter. Are you called her ugly? I am so sorry. I don't even know how to apologize. You don't have to apologize. I will never accept it. I don't mind about what you said about me. I was certainly not a good parent. I will never forgive you for insulting my daughter. I don't care if it's an abuse of my authority or called too emotional. My company will terminate the contract right now. No! If such an important company pulls out, what would happen to mine? None of my business. Just live your life of integrity and not make fun of people's appearance.
Then he hung up the phone. Thank you, Dad. I feel better now.
I got a bit emotional. I'm sorry, Mark, for being such a jerk to your father. No, please don't worry about it. I'm glad you gave my father a hard time.
Actually, my dad currently runs an IT company. He's a geek who loved computers so much that he even assembled his own. When he was dating my mom, he worked an office job to suppress his desires. After my mom asked him, "Isn't there something you really want to do?" he took a plunge, quit his job, and began to devote himself to what he loved. After my sister was born, he started teaching computer classes in the neighborhood as a temporary income. Other than that, he spent all his time working on what he liked. Eventually, he was able to create an inexpensive high-performance computer, which his friends wanted, so he started selling them at a reasonable price. Then word spread, and many orders started coming in. Once the demand became high, there was no choice but to turn it into a business. Hence, my father started his own company to sell his computers. The sales increased, and as more money came in, he invested in the production of more advanced products. Before he knew it, the company had grown in size and started dealing with other businesses. But that didn't change my dad's attitude at all. He's still passionate about what he wants to do. That's why I'm doing what I want to do and following my dreams too. No matter how wealthy we become, we still have the same heart as when we were poor. Mark's father was fired when the shareholders found out that he was the cause of the termination of the contract. As a result, he became unemployed. Because his mother refused to admit it and kept the same lifestyle, their savings dwindled down. They even had to sell the mansion. One day, his father came to my dad begging in tears, but my dad didn't forgive him.
My daughter told you to never get involved with us, right?
He turned him away. Mark cut ties with his parents and married into my family. He is now working hard at my dad's company to take over his business one day. I told him, "You don't have to take the responsibility. You know you can do what you really want, right?" He replied, "What I want to do is to give you the life in which you can keep chasing your dreams." And then we got married. We are now living a very happy life as a couple. He is a wonderful husband. Also, Dana's family was all very captivating. Mark's parents were a bit carried away. I suppose too much obsession with success and money can twist a person's character. In any case, I'm glad that Dana was able to find happiness. I wish them a long, happy life. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.